Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to episode 19 of Extreme Evocast, an all-purpose Pokemon podcast where we talk about news, trivia, and everything related to Pokemon. So, I feel like I start every episode with so. The time has finally come. Pokemon Sword and Shield is here. And the way that I'm going to address this new game is I'm going to do a review. So if you're looking at today's episode title, or maybe if you haven't, today I'm going to do a review of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I'm not going to finish the review of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm going to do a three-part review of Pokemon Sword and Shield, going across the next month and a half, where in each episode I talk about something specific, something big, about Pokemon Sword and Shield, because I don't feel like I can talk about everything that I'd like to talk about in one episode, because I want to go in depth. So you have been warned. There is going to be spoilers for Pokemon Sword and Shield in this episode. Today is going to be where we talk about the new Pokemon. I think quite possibly the biggest part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And we're going to talk about the new Pokemon, the like I said, the biggest part. And then the next episode will probably be story, what I thought of the story. So next episode, 2 weeks from today, will be the story review. What I think of the story, what I think of just the overall feel of the game, I suppose. Like that, I think that will also include the gameplay mechanics, the art, the aesthetic, all that stuff. And then the final and third episode will be a wrap-up, a miscellaneous kind of episode, and then a big conclusion and a final rating of what I think. So that's going to be actually released on Christmas. So the final episode of my big Pokemon Sword and Shield review will be released on Christmas Day of 2019. I think that's exciting. So consider that, I suppose, the Christmas special episode. I think it would be fun if on that day, because it's perfect because a lot of people will be getting Pokemon Sword and Shield for Christmas. So if you need some time to determine whether or not you should get the game, a lot of people are going to get money for Christmas. So a lot of people, if people need time to, think about whether or not they want the game, get somebody's outside opinion whether or not they should get the game, these next 3 episodes will, final one will be on Christmas. We'll kind of sum up my thoughts and give my opinion about Pokemon Sword and Shield from somebody who's been playing Pokemon all of their life. So I'm not going to do any news today. I'll probably do some news next time. I'm not going to do any news today, mostly because I am a little bit lacking of time. But I think that if I were to do news, I think that it would all just be Pokemon Sword and Shield related. So I think next time we'll do a little bit of news, kind of take a break halfway through, from the review, and do some news, and then continue on. But today, and I assume probably the third episode in this little series will not have any news either. But we are going to do random Pokemon of the week, and also Move Tutor, the 2 segments that I do pretty commonly on this show. So we're gonna do random Pokemon of the week first, so we can just hop right into the big stuff, the meat. So welcome to Random Pokemon of the Week, the segment where we talk about a random Pokemon every episode. And today we are going to talk about Popplio. I think that Popplio is a good fit for today because Popplio was not necessarily a controversial Pokemon when it first came out or when it was first revealed. It was interesting because a lot of people hated on it. It became kind of a meme, kind of infamous for how much people didn't like it. I guess. I mean, I loved it. And I think it was hit or miss. Either you loved Popplio or you hated Popplio, at least when it was revealed. A lot of people weren't a big fan of Popplio, or at least of the Alola starters. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Popplio. So Popplio is number 728. is a water-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 7. I think it's the first Gen 7 Pokemon we've talked about. I might be wrong. It evolves into Brionne starting at level 17 and evolves into Primarina starting at level 34. Along with Rowlet and Litten, Poplio is one of the 3 starter Pokemon of Alola available at the beginning of Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultramoon. Along with Rowlet and Litten, it was the second Generation 7 Pokemon to reveal to the public on May 10th, 2016. So Poplio's abilities are Torrent and Liquid Voice. Gender ratio is 87.5% male, 12.5% female. The infamous very small amount of female Pokemon in starters for some odd reason. It is 1.4 or 0.4 meters, and it is 16.5 pounds or 7.5 kilograms. So Poplio is a very interesting Pokemon, as I said, because it was very unorthodox. I think that it's one of the only. I think it's probably one of the most unorthodox starters out there, because it's very unlike any other starters that we've had so far. We've had, I don't think, because we've had a lot of water types, but I don't think we've had any like fully aquatic water type starters. I mean, so it's interesting, and like I said, a lot of people really hated it when it came out, and I don't know why, because I mean, Poplio was my starter of choice. It was my favorite from the very beginning. I still love Poplio to this day, and Primarina is one of my favorite Pokemon, probably top 10. I very, very much love Primarina, and I'm very, very happy that Primarina exists, and I like Poplio. So like I said before, Poplio was a bit of a meme starting out because of the fact that either you loved it or you hated it, and just because it's so strange, it's so interesting. I really, really like the phenomenon that happened with Poplio. Because if you look back on the history of like when Poplio was revealed and all of the art and stuff and like how people thought of it, there was like the stop hating on Poplio thing, like no Poplio hate, Poplio is Poplio deserves him better thing going around on like Twitter and Tumblr and all that stuff. If you were around on that time, it's very interesting. So Poplio shares its category with Seal and Dugong. They are all known as the Sea Lion Pokemon. Very interesting. Thank you, Poplio. So, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about Poplio other than that. Just the fact that it was a little bit of a meme when it came out, and that it was, it was hated. Undeservingly so, in my opinion. I mean, it was loved and hated, so it's a little bit of a double-edged sword there. But personally, I love Poplio, and I'm going to rate Poplio Shiny. See, like, I'm tempted to rate... See, I can't be biased because I really like Primarina Shiny and Brionne Shiny, but this isn't about Primarina and Brionne. It's about Poplio. So I'm trying my hardest to not base these Pokemon based on what they turn into, and simply base it on what their shiny is now compared to what their normal form is. So Poplio just turns a little bit darker blue. I've seen a lot of Poplio because I've seen a lot of people shiny hunt for it because it's a starter Pokemon and it's one of people's favorites. So I it's very bland. It's very, very basic. It's not bland. It's basic. That's what I meant to say. It's very basic, and I think because of that, it's kind of endearing. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's very nice. I think it looks good. I think the darker blue looks really, really good. They could have made it a lot uglier, which is why I'm a little bit thankful that it is what it is. They certainly just could have made it like they could have given it the Vaporeon treatment and made it pink. Not that would, or purple. Not that really would have been a problem, but I think that this fits better. I like it better. So yeah, Poplio. There's no sets for Poplio in Pokemon Sun and Moon for the Little Cup. Competitively, if you don't know, the Little Cup is a cup or a ranking on Smogon.com for competitive Pokemon. For first stage, second stage, unevolved Pokemon. It doesn't have a set, so we're not going to. So maybe I could look up look up someone's recommendations, because there's no official sets on Smogon, but I can probably find a suggested move set. Let me see. Let's see. Poplio. See, there's like nothing. Little Cup. Poplio's analysis. Okay, so we will look into this in a second. So Poplio has an HP of 50, an attack of 54, a defense of 54, a special attack of 66, a special defense of 56, and a speed of 40. So Poplio. So I'm going to read this analysis by Maxi with 2 eyes .03. Let me read this out loud. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I will go over a set. So okay, there is no moveset given, but what I'm going to read out. Oh no, there is a set. Okay, never mind. There is a set, and I'm going to read the overview and the set. So Poplio has its good and bad sides. While a 50, 40, 56 bulk boosted with Eviolite is decent, Poplio can be taken down by powerful attacks from powerful attackers on the tier. Also, its 40 base speed doesn't make him any better, being outspeeded by common Pokemon, even those who are not considered fast. It also lacks instant recovery, drain recovery, or leftovers recovery. Despite that, Poplio can still use Substitute, Toxic, and Protect. You know what I mean, right? So the set is a defensive attempt. Wow, rude. And the moves are Toxic, Substitute, Protect, and Hyper Voice / Hydro Pump / Rest. So literally just you put up a Substitute, you Toxic, you Protect, and you wait until they die. And you rest if your HP gets low, or you Hyper Voice to chip them down even more. Item is Eviolite to give it more defensive abilities. Nature is Calm. Eevee's 196 HP, 164 defense, 82 special defense, 66 speed. I mean, there's a reason why it doesn't have a set, because it's bad. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it anymore. It's bad, but I'm glad that somebody at least tried. So thank you, Maxi03. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that's really all. That's really all we can do. Really all we can look at for Poplio. So, thank you, Poplio. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this episode, which is the new Pokemon. We're going to go over the new Pokemon, all of the new Pokemon list. Look over them, look over where they're found, and I'm also just going to give a little bit of insight about my feelings towards all of them, and also give a little bit of personal background. So before I continue, spoiler warning, of course, once again, you have been warned. We are going to talk about all of the new Pokemon today. So be careful. If you don't want to hear any of the new Pokemon, or if you want to hear about one certain Pokemon, I would suggest being careful. So the new Pokemon. So a little bit of background. I did my Nuzlocke on release day. I finished it a few days later. I'm currently uploading the episodes on YouTube to my YouTube channel, youtube.com channel, Lillieceon. And it's going good. It went really, really good. It was fun. We caught a lot of the new Pokemon. We got to use a lot of Pokemon on the team that I was very excited to use. And now, excuse me, I kind of just woke up, so I'm a little yawny. I'm drinking coffee, if you don't mind. But I got to see most of, if not all of the Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there was really any Pokemon that I missed necessarily, or that I didn't get a glimpse of. I mean, there's a few like Snom and Frosmoth that I don't think I ever saw, and Ice-Q. I don't think I ever saw none of the fossils, obviously. I don't think we ever saw like the last evolution of Dreepy, or that kind of stuff. But I got to see most of the new Pokemon. There's actually not that many. There's actually only 80 new Pokemon. And saying only is kind of a stretch, because that's actually quite a bit. That's more than pretty sure that's more than Sun and Moon, and also more than X and Y. Certainly more than Kalos, more than Wow, yeah, that's actually quite a lot of Pokemon. But I finished the Nuzlocke. We did good, or I did good, I suppose. I beat it. It was fun. And right now, I'm actually going through and catching or replaying through the game. I will tell you what Pokemon I have on my team when we go through them. But I'm replaying the game right now. I'm on like the 6th gym or something. And as I go, I'm actually trying to collect all of the Pokemon. Trying to get the living dex, or at least complete the Pokedex. And my goal is to get the living dex because I really, really, really want to get the shiny charm. And also, I haven't had a chance to get the living dex in any game other than Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, which, let's be honest, that game is pretty easy to get the living dex in. But I did get the living dex in Let's Go, but I've never gotten a living dex in another game. And I think that due to the fact there's only 400 Pokemon in this game, this is a good time to do it. Honestly, this is a good chance because it's fun, and it also gives me a chance to explore, personally, some of the new Pokemon on the list. And I gotta say, it's been a blast so far, trying to complete the living dex. And if you haven't considered it, or have not even considered completing the Pokedex at all, I recommend it. It's very fun, and it really helps with knowledge and challenges your knowledge. And it's a very, very fun project to just kind of like sit down and just go around catching as many Pokemon as you possibly can. I thought that the wild area would be kind of make it hard to find a lot of the Pokemon, considering a lot of them are like, only on a specific time of day and a specific kind of weather, and even then it's only like a 1% chance. But none of them have really been that bad, if I'm being honest with you. So it's not actually as bad as it seems with the wild area. I'm pretty sure at this point I've caught in like every Pokemon there is to find in the wild area, and even then, a lot of them are just like some Pokemon that you can find in other routes anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. And a lot of the wild area Pokemon are not limited to just one area. There's a lot of repeats, and that's a good thing when you're trying to complete the Pokedex, So, the starters. Grookey, baby boy. We talked about Grookey. And his evolution. Thwacky. So like I said in last week's episode, I hadn't been leaked pretty much anything. I think the only Pokemon that I saw in a leak was I believe I saw Pincurchin on accident, which is fine because it's Pincurchin, but I wasn't spoiled for pretty much anything. I also got it spoiled for Cinderace, but we'll talk about Cinderace. So Thwacky, I mean, what do I even say about Thwacky? Like, it's Thwacky. It's adorable, but like, it's a mid-stage. I mean, I really like it. And then Rillaboom, I very much enjoy Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom is a design that is very, very rare. It's a very, very good design. I really, really like Rillaboom. I think it's a very, very very solid design. I think it's the best out of the three, in my personal opinion. I love Rillaboom's design. It's very cool. Like, it's so unique. Like, it's got like its big old drum and its big drumsticks and its huge hair. It's just like a big old gorilla, and it's not what I was expecting, but it's very, very nice. And I very much like Rillaboom. Rillaboom is really, really cool. Moving on, Scorbunny. Scorbunny, we already talked about Scorbunny, but Reboot is fun because I've seen a lot of people comparing Reboot to like a Naruto character, because he looks like a Naruto character. He looks edgy. He's got like, he's got the headband, he's got he's even got like the hoodie, like the sweatshirt, and it's adorable. It's so cute. Reboot is so, so cute. I even saw a clip on Twitter where it was like when Reboot is happy, he gets really happy, and then he changes his mind. It's like, oh no, I'm supposed to be edgy. Never mind. And then he like looks down and like sulks a little bit. Like he's so cute. I love Reboot a lot. In my Nuzlocke, I chose Scorbunny in my Nuzlocke. His name was Hibachi, and I lost Hibachi as a reboot, and I never evolved him into Cinderace. And I'm very sad about that because I really like Cinderace, and I'm a big fan of what Cinderace looks like. So I never really got to experience Cinderace, personally. But I very much enjoyed its design. I think its design is very, very cute and very, very nice. And its signature attack, what is it, Pyro Ball, is insane. Very, very, it's really, like, each of the starters have animations for all of their signature moves, and they're so good. They're so good. They're all so good, and I think that, like, there's all of them have, like, unique animations, and, like, that's so rare for a signature move having, like, the Pokemon having a unique animation, not the move having a unique animation. But, like, it's even like a little cinematic, you know. It's not just a little animation. It's like a full blown little cutscene. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the Z moves, but like just a move. I don't know what Rillaboom's signature move is. I guess it's drum beating. It's drum beating. I never saw it. I only saw Cinderace's and Inteleon. But, you know. But yeah, Cinderace, very nice. A very welcome addition. Oh, wow. Okay, so it seems like Cinderace has a hidden ability called Libero that is very similar to Protean. It changes the Pokemon's type to the type of the move it's about to use, which is that sounds very good. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm excited to see how that will, how people will use that. Honestly, that's a really, really nice ability. Anyway, I don't want to get too caught up on individual Pokemon because, like I said, I don't have a lot of time. So we're going to kind of move quickly here. Inteleon and Drizzile. Inteleon's probably my least favorite out of the three, mostly because I'm more... I like Scorbunny the best, and I'm more into Grookey than Sobble. But I do like Drizzile. Drizzile's edgy. He's just like an angsty teen, and I very much appreciate that. Nothing else really to say. I do very much like Drizzile, but Inteleon is really cool. In my opinion, I think Inteleon's one of the cooler ones, one of the cooler designs, because it's a secret agent. Like, how cool is that? It's really, really cool. Inteleon is a very interesting Pokemon. It's not what people expected Drizzile or Sobble to evolve into. But I am down with this design. It's very cool. It's very, very nice. It's got the signature move. What is it? Snipe Shot, and it even has like a little signature animation where it bends down and points its finger guns, which it does that for every move. Specifically for Snipe Shot, it has its own special animation where it shoots water out of its fingers like finger guns. Like, that is so cool. How can you not think that's cool? Anyway, moving on. Skwovet, the rodent, the Route 1 rodent, Skwovet, and Greedent, who a lot of people are saying Greedent looks like Peter Griffin, and I really hate that they've told me that because they're right. And I don't like that they're right because I really like Greedent, but, whatever. I used a Skwovet on my first attempt at the Nuzlocke. We named her Frida, but she died. Everyone died. I had to restart the Nuzlocke. It was very sad. I mean, Skwovet's kind of an annoying Pokemon because you find it everywhere. Because it's in the berry trees. But it's cute. It's very, very cute. I think it's probably one of the cuter of like the Route 1 rodents. I like it a lot. And Greedent too. Greedent's a cool design. I like Greedent. Rookidee. See, interesting thing about Rookidee, I didn't know that Rookidee evolved into Corviknight. Because I didn't expect Corviknight when Corviknight was revealed. Honestly, I didn't expect Corviknight to be like the bird. I thought Corviknight was like a standalone Pokemon, or maybe it was, it evolved from one other thing. I didn't expect it to be like the Route 1 bird. It's not what I was expecting when I saw Rookidee or when I saw Corviknight. So I had a Rookidee on my team for the Nuzlocke, the second run of the Nuzlocke. Her name was Popcorn, and she actually stayed with me for the entire Nuzlocke. She lived until the very end, with the very last battle against the champion. So I love Popcorn. Popcorn is probably like just the best Pokemon we had during that Nuzlocke. I'm very, very excited about that. No spoilers for the Nuzlocke, though. I'm sorry. I know if anyone is interested in watching my Nuzlocke and you weren't there to catch the stream, I'm sorry for spoiling that Popcorn never dies. But Popcorn never dies, and I'm very excited about Popcorn. I'll try not to spoil and the Nuzlocke if anyone is interested in watching it in post on my YouTube channel as the episodes come out. So I apologize for that. But my girl Popcorn, when I got her, I didn't expect her to evolve into Corviknight. I was very, because like they look similar, but I never put the connection in my head, probably because of the yellow on Rookidee. But as soon as Rookidee evolved into Corvisquire, I immediately knew, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, Rookidee evolves into Corviknight? I didn't expect it at all. I mean, I should have expected it, because, like, they're very similar. Their names are very similar. They look very similar. But I just didn't put two and two together, and it was a very pleasant surprise. Blipbug. Blipbug is interesting. I think Blipbug's really cute. I really like its design. It's kind of just like Galarian Scatterbug. But it's cute. I like its glasses, and its whole line is really interesting. Orbeetle is a really cool Pokemon because it especially Gigantamax Orbeetle. Gigantamax Orbeetle looks really cool because, one, it's a UFO, and two, it also kind of looks like a mushroom. And I really, really like Gigantamax Orbeetle, but I also really like Orbeetle because of its typing. Bug Psychic is a very unique and very interesting typing, and I think it's really good, if I'm being honest. I've heard some people say that it's really good, or that like it's, it has really good moves, it has really good stats. So I'm excited to see what comes to this Pokemon and how it evolves in the competitive thing. Because I mean, it has a base special defense of 120, base speed of 90. Its attack stats aren't great, but it's beefy. HP of 60 is pretty bad, but like, that's still pretty good. It's got a very, very high defense and a very, very high special defense. Its attack and special attack are okay, but it seems more on the bulky side, but it's very cool. It's a very, very cool Pokemon. And special Bug and Psychic is a really good typing, in my opinion. Anyway, Nickit. Oh, okay. So when I first saw Nickit, I expected to like Nickit more than I do now because it's a fox, and foxes are my favorite animal, and I love foxes. But I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed with Thievul. I think it's the mustache. I think that Thievul's mustache kind of throws me off a little bit. It just looks really weird. It looks really off, in my opinion. I'm not really a big fan of Thievul, but I really, really like Nickit. Nickit's one of probably my favorite Galarian Pokemon, but Thievul not so much. If I ever get like a shiny Nickit or something, I'm probably not going to evolve it into Thievul, just because I don't really like Thievul all that much. I almost wish that the female one didn't have the mustache. If the female ones didn't have a mustache, I'd probably like it a little bit more. It's just something about the mustache I just don't like about it. But originally I thought that Thievul was going to be Dark Fire. But I'm happy to know that it's just dark. It's very cute. It's a very, very nice Pokemon. Gossifleur and Eldegoss, I don't really have anything to say because they were revealed before. Same with Wooloo. We can talk about Double though, but Gossifleur and Eldegoss, they're basic Pokemon, not really super exciting. I like them, don't get me wrong. I think that Gossifleur and Eldegoss are very, very cool. It's just like, what do I say that I haven't already said? I think their design's really cool. I think they're just pure grass type Pokemon. I like them. Nothing really super interesting about them though, unfortunately. Wooloo, same. I really like Wooloo. We already talked about Wooloo a little bit. But Double, I really like Double's design. I think Double's design is really, really nice. I like how they made sure that to say in the Pokedex entry that its horns are only meant for mating or to attract mates and not for actually attacking. I'm a little bit Double is a little bittersweet to me because, and same with Wooloo, because Hop's Wooloo in the game. Your rival's Wooloo has got to be the worst AI I've ever seen in my entire life. Most of the time, whenever you were fighting against Hop or with Hop in double battles, his Wooloo would just like growl. Even at like level like 30, it would just growl and like use tackle. It didn't or like not use super effective moves. It's like I can talk about that when I talked about the gameplay, but like Hop's Wooloo is the worst. And it puts a sour taste in my mouth to say that Wooloo is bad, but like I don't think Wooloo's bad. I think that Hop's Wooloo is bad, and we got to see a little bit of redemption with Double, and I do like Double a lot. But, excuse my French, goddamn, Double and Wooloo. But I do like them. Dreadnought and Choodle, I don't know how to feel about Choodle. Choodle's cute. It's very ugly, but it's cute at the same time. It's kind of like a cute ugly. I do like Dreadnought though. I don't really have anything much to say about Choodle. Like when I first saw it, I didn't put two and two together that this was Dreadnought's pre-evolution. I was like, what is that? But, it's a Dreadnought's pre-evolution. Nothing really else to say about that. We already talked about Dreadnought quite a bit. But Yamper is adorable, as I said before. I think Yamper is probably one of the cutest Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, every single time there was like a Yamper out and about as like an NPC, or like Sonia's Yamper, like, oh my god, my heart melted a little bit more inside. So cute. He's such a good pupper. I love Yamper. And we had a Yamper on our Nuzlocke. Sammy, named after my own dog, who I was very, very excited to use. And Boltund is a cool Pokemon. I was a little bit disappointed at first with Boltund's design because it doesn't really look like Yamper. Like, it goes from a corgi to just like a generic kind of dog, and I wish they made Boltund look a little bit more dog, like corgi, because like it's just the dog Pokemon. And like I very much like Yamper's design, and I think that it's a very nice change, as opposed to a lot of the dog Pokemon who kind of look the same. I mean, that's not true, but like Boltund just looks a little bit too generic to me, and I wish that they made it just like a bigger corgi. I wish they made it a little more corgi-like. I think that would be very cute. But I mean, not to say I don't like Boltund. Boltund is a very interesting Pokemon, very fast electric type, pure electric type Pokemon, which is rare. It was something we haven't seen in a while. I very much like it. It was a blast to use on my team. I say our, like it was multiple people. Blast to use on my team. Had a very fun time with using Boltund, and I'm glad that it's in the game. But I wish it was a little bit more. It was a little bit more corgi-like. Roly-Poly, I just love. I love Roly-Poly and its design. We talked about Roly-Poly a little bit. I think Roly-Poly is adorable. And Carkol and Colossal is just a really good Pokemon. Colossal less so. I really like Carkol's design. Carkol, I mentioned this on stream. Carkol looks like its eyes specifically. Carkol looks like a Gen 1 Pokemon. I think. Like its eyes, those those kind of like triangle intense eyes, they look like a Gen 1 Pokemon, and I like it. I wish that more Pokemon would look like that. I really like how, not to spoil anything, of course, like I said, spoil free. The game spoil free. Or not spoil free. There will be spoilers. Sorry. like Carcoal in the Galar mines, how it was like it was riding on the tracks like it is a minecart. I didn't know what it was, and I thought it was just a minecart. And when it ran into me during the Nuzlocke, it scared the bejesus out of me, and it's not what I was expecting. I didn't expect it to be a Pokemon. I mean, you can go back and see my reaction if you're interested, but like I really like how they made it like an overworld encounter. Much like they did with a lot of Pokemon, but like it was a unique overworld encounter where it was riding on the mine carts. It's adorable. I like it a lot. And Coalossal is a little bit less interesting to me. It kind of just looks like looks like Magmortar and Rhydon put together. It feels like Magmar and Rhydon put together because it's fire rock, but like it's cool. It's a good final form. I thought that Carcoal was the final evolution until I fought Gordy. But like, and its Gigantamax form is also very, very cool. I think its Gigantamax form is really, really solid. I like Gigantamax Coalossal. To me, feels like it really feels like a big Pokemon because the coal on its back is just pouring out of it, and there's so much of it. You know what I mean? And that's what I really like about Gigantamax Coalossal. It feels big because of the mountains of coal on its back. You know what I mean? And like, there's so much coal. It's a big old furnace powered by coal. It's really intense, and it's a really, really cool design to me. Gigantamax Coalossal is really, really cool. Normal Coalossal less so, but I do like it. I gotta say, I like Carcoal a little bit more, but I do like Gigantamax Coalossal and just normal Coalossal. Next up is Applin. Applin is something that I was not expecting. I didn't know of this Pokemon's existence until I found it, until, I encountered it in the game. I didn't see it before. And what a pleasant surprise. I like Applin. Specifically, I really like its typing. Grass Dragon are these the first Grass Dragon that we've had so far? I think it's the first Grass Dragon. I might be wrong. I'm gonna look right now. Grass Dragon. Oh no, there's Exeggutor, Alolan Exeggutor, but that's fine. So it isn't the first Grass Dragon, but it feels like the first Grass Dragon because of the whole. Because of because of the fact that it's a standalone Pokemon and not just a form, it feels like the first Grass Dragon, and it acts like the first Grass Dragon. I very much enjoy Applin's design, and also Flapple and Appletun. Appletun is absolutely adorable. I really like the aesthetic they were going with Appletun. Little snoot with a little helmet on with the ears that are actually eyes, and the fact that it's just an apple pie. Like, that's so cute. It's adorable. And Flapple's cool too. I don't see a lot of people talking about Flapple, but I do like Flapple. Flapple's nice. Flapple, I personally like Appletun better, but Flapple is also very cute. I very, very much like Applin or Flapple, as well as Gigantamax. Both of them, both of their Gigantamax forms are exactly the same, design-wise, and I think that they're very cool. I like how it's just like a boiling pot of apple juice, like apple mush. It's very interesting. It's very cool. I like it. It's a very, very unique design and not something I was expecting to see from this game, but it's very welcome. I welcome more designs like Applin. Applin is adorable. Silicobra and Sandaconda. Silicobra, I really like Sandaconda and Silicobra. Like, they're just ground types, but they're cool. I like them. I don't really have much to say. Sandaconda looks like a shotgun with its big old nose holes, which I don't know if that's what they were going for. And I like how it's like wrapped around itself. It's very weird. It's very odd. It's a very interesting Pokemon. Now that I'm looking at it kind of more in detail, it's very interesting, and I like it. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about them, except that they're cool. And I like how Sandaconda looks like a shotgun. Like you could hold it and like cock it and fire it and shoot sand out. I mean, that's kind of what its what its ability is with sand spit. With if it gets hit by an attack, it creates a sandstorm, which is very nice. It's kind of just like a worse sand stream, I suppose. But it's not that big of a deal. It almost seems like it should be better, but I can't really think of how it could be better. Moving on. Cramorant. Cramorant, see, because we knew about Cramorant beforehand, and I don't know if I talked about Cramorant all that much, but Cramorant... Cramorant is interesting because it was found out that it can have a Pikachu in its gorging form. So when it uses Surf or Dive, it and then it gets hit, it'll use its ability and shoot out the fish in its mouth. But it can also have a Pikachu. It can also just be eating a Pikachu, and that's a reference to the surfing Pikachu. And it's really cute. I like it a lot. Okay, so a gulping and gorging. Sorry, not they're two different. Gulping and gorging form. Gulping is with a Arrokuda, and gorging is with a Pikachu. Which is I don't know what the differences are. Okay, it says it right here. So if the HP is over 50% when activated, it becomes gulping form. But when its HP is under 50% when activated, it's gorging form, and it has a Pikachu in its mouth. And then it spits out the Pikachu. And it says here, it will change into gulping form if it has over 50% max HP, or gorging form when it has less than 50 max HP. If hit afterwards, form reverts and it shoots out its prey to attack, doing 1/4 of the opponent's maximum HP and damage. If the Cramorant was in gulping form, the opponent's defense is lowered by 1 stage. So if it shoots a Arrokuda at you, its defense is lowered by 1 stage. If the Cramorant was in gorging form, the opponent is paralyzed. Okay, I thought it was just aesthetic, but apparently they have different uses. But I really like that. I really like how Cramorant has this special ability that makes it really, really unique. It's a really cool Pokemon. And I'm a little bit bittersweet with Cramorant because of the fact that I tried to catch one the other day, and oh my god, it took, I swear to God, like 30 Pokeballs. I'm not even kidding. It took so many Pokeballs, so many Ultra Balls to catch this gosh darn Cramorant. It took so long. So I'm angry at Cramorant right now, but it's fine. I really like its design. Okay, so this is a different session right now. And I want to say that I'm in a different area, a different place. I had to stop and take a break and come back to this episode. So that's why maybe I sound a little bit different, maybe a little bit quieter. And I do want to say that I have to be quiet because there's somebody sleeping near me in the other room, so I can't really speak up. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit quiet for the rest of the episode, but we're gonna get right back into it with the episode. I'm sorry. I know it probably won't be a very big cut for you, but it was a very, very large time in between recording that last part and this part. So I might be in a little bit of a different mood, a little bit of a different, demeanor. And obviously I have to be a little quieter. So I apologize if there's anything different. I'm in a totally different environment than I was last time, so the background noise might be a little different. I hope you can excuse that. And yeah, we're gonna get right back into it. So next is Arrokuda. I in the Nuzlocke, I used an Arrokuda for a little while, and I evolved it into Barraskewda. And like even though it's just like the basic fish Pokemon, for this region, I actually really like it. I think it's a really interesting design. I think it's a lot more interesting than some of the other ones. Like, of course, we got like Basculin in Gen 5. We got, Wishy-Washy was cool in Gen 7. Wishy-Washy wasn't very good, because it was Wishy-Washy. It's just Wishy-Washy. It was a really, really cool design. It's a very, very interesting concept, I like it a lot for its design, but in terms of its actual gameplay, it's just not very good, and it's a shame because I like it a lot. And I like that we got one that evolved and one that's like actually kind of good, kind of interesting. Like it looks really cool. The design is really interesting. I like the bone kind of design on its body and how it looks like a torpedo. It's very, very nice. I like it a lot, and I really like Arakuda's like grin, or yeah, like his grin, like his smirk. He's so happy. He's very smug. I like it. Moving on. Toxel and Toxtricity. I haven't had a chance to use a Toxel or a Toxtricity on my team because a lot of people have been doing it, have been using it. At least I've seen. So I was gonna use one on my team when I played through the game normally, but I kind of decided against it because I wanted something a little bit newer, something a little bit something different, something a little bit off the what was super popular right now. But that doesn't mean it's not good. I like its different designs. I love its punk rock style and its ability. It's like a punk rock ability, literally, and it's so cool. And Electric Poison is such a cool typing, and I'm pretty sure Electric Poison it's the first one we've gotten of this type, and excuse me, I am down. I am down with this kind of Pokemon, this style Pokemon. Its Gigantamax form is really, really cool. It's like a huge it's like a giant it's got like a pole, like a what's the word, like a phone line, like a phone wire. I don't remember the name of it. You know what I'm talking about, on its back, and like that's so cool. I really, really like Toxtricity. Anyway, Sizzlepede. Ooh, Sizzlepede. I like Sizzlepede, or Sizzlipede. It's Sizzlipede, but I say Sizzlepede because that's just what I say. Sizzlepede. I use a Sizzlepede on my in my Nuzlocke, and because originally, spoiler alert, you find a Sizzlipede in the gym, in the fire gym, because you're tasked at catching one, or just killing it if you don't want to catch it, as for the gym. But I caught it. That was like the encounter for that part of the gym, and I didn't really think much of it. I named her Baconator because Sizzlipede and Centiskorch looks like bacon. And no spoilers on the Nuzlocke, but Baconator really carried. Baconator did really, really, really good, actually, and like kind of destroyed the opposition. Like she did so good. I'm not like, if you're interested in seeing how Baconator did, go watch my Nuzlocke. But Baconator did way. I wasn't even planning on really using it until we lost Pokemon enough to use a fire type, and like, oh my god, it was so good. She was so good. Clobbopus and Grapploct is interesting. I wish that they were water fighting. I don't really know why they're not. Like, there's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 8 that are typed weirdly that I feel like should be different types. Like, I feel like Sirfetch'd should be like flying fighting. I feel like Pincurchin should be water electric. I feel like Phalanx should be bug fighting. There's a lot of Pokemon that only have one type that I think they should be another type. I like, it's not horrible. Like, I don't think it really makes or breaks the Pokemon, but I just think it's interesting that Grapploct and Clobbopus aren't water type. I mean, they're octopi. They're in the water, literally. You find Grapploct in the water. And like, I can see why it would make sense, but I just think personally it should be water type. But I mean, I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. And of course I will have a chance to talk about these Pokemon in more and more detail as I go with the random Pokemon of the week. Or if I ever have a with the type review series that's coming up soon. that I'm going to continue soon. I'll have a chance to talk about these Pokemon a little bit more in depth. I'm just kind of trying to speed through them. If I don't really have an opinion on them, I'm not really going to talk about them. But the Pokemon I do want to talk about, I will talk about in extent. So, Sinistea and Poltegeist. Cool. We kind of already talked about Poltegeist when it was revealed, so I don't really have anything to say. Sinistei's cool. I thought that they would be Ghost Fairy, but they're just Ghost. That's another thing I mean. But yeah, they're nice. I want to use one on a team. I think it's a cute Pokemon, and the whole antique and phony thing is cool. Oh my god. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm yawning so much. But yeah, I mean, Poltergeist is cool. The Hatena line, Hatena, Hatterene, and Hatterene, I think they're really cool. I think their typing Psychic Fairy is really, really nice. I think that they are very well designed Pokemon. They're like the Gardevoir of Gen 8, and I mean their design is really cool. They look like Hatena and Hatterene look like Kirby enemies or Kirby characters, and then Hatterene is just, dude, Hatterene is scary because like their Pokedex entries are all like, they'll kill you if you like show any emotion, and it's like, Jesus, you know. I've seen a lot of memes on Twitter about that. Hatterene's Gigantamax form is really cool too. I really like her single arm that's like also her hair and also part of her hat. It's very odd, but cool Pokemon. I wish that Hatterene was also Psychic Fairy and not just Hatterene. Because normally, the first evolution is just one type, and then the second evolution and the third evolution are both. But it's interesting that they took a turn on that. Impidimp. We talked a little bit about Impidimp when it was first revealed or leaked, I suppose. It's cool. I like it. I like its evolution. It's Morgrem and Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is just wow. Grimmsnarl is certainly a Pokemon. I don't know how to feel about Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is just all over the place. It's, what even is this Pokemon's design? It looks like it's made of like I know it's hair, but like it looks like it's like muscle, and it makes me uncomfortable, especially in its Gigantamax form. Like, ooh, what a big lad! Not what I was expecting. When I first saw that, I was at a loss for words, like I still am, honestly. Anyway, Obstagoon we already talked about. Berserker. We'll talk briefly about the Galarian Pokemon, but like, Galarian Meowth is an unexpected but welcome, with a question mark, addition. I don't really know how I feel about Galarian Meowth. It's, I don't really think we needed a Galarian Meowth because we already have a Alolan Meowth and normal Meowth and, Gigantamax Meowth. But like, I mean, I guess, like, I'm not really opposed to it. And I think that Berserker's really cool with this, like, Viking design, but I just don't really have an opinion. Like, a steel type is really nice. I like it. But, like, we've been so oversaturated to Meowth at this point that I'm kind of just like, okay, whatever, Cursola. So, Cursola, like, wow. I really like Cursola. And I wish that it was a little bit more, like, I wish that its ability wasn't so bad. Not bad. But, its ability, its hidden ability is Perish Body, which is when hit by a move that makes direct contact. It's essentially like when you make contact with Cursola, it essentially gives Perish Song to both of the Pokemon. And, Cursola and Galarian Corsola are good statements on the dying coral reefs and all that stuff and like how that works. But I really like it. It's so cool. And again, I wish it was Water Ghost and not just Ghost. It makes sense, but you know how I feel. But like, I wish that its hidden ability was a little better. It's cool. Apparently it's pretty good. But I was a little bit disappointed to find that that's what its hidden ability was. This is just a personal thing. I mean, Cursola's design is so cool. I can't be mad at it. Like, I think that its design, especially its shiny, like, oh my god, it is the coolest Pokemon ever. I love Cursola's design. It is so cool. Same with Galarian Corsola. Like, I'm so glad we got a little bit of love to Corsola because, Corsola has been kind of an unloved Pokemon. We've always been wanting a Corsola evolution, but this time we did get a Corsola evolution. We got a Corsola evolution and a new form for Corsola, which is fun. Surfetched, we already talked about really, but Surfetched is interesting because of its evolution method, where you have to land 3 critical hits in one battle to evolve it, and like that's cool. I always welcome new ways and interesting ways to evolve Pokemon. I haven't had a chance to get around to getting it or doing it myself, so I don't know how hard it is. Because I know you can get, like, the leak to, like, make its critical hit ratio even better. So, like, once I get around to it, I guess I could mention it again. But, like, I haven't had a chance to really do it personally. So I can't really show how I feel about it, because I haven't done it yet. These next two, Mr. Rhyme and Runerigus, however you say that name, Runerigus, no idea. These two are the Pokemon that I showed, or I talked about in last episode, or 2 episodes ago. Maybe it was last episode. No, it was definitely last episode when we talked about the new Pokemon that they revealed right before Sword and Shield came out, which was these 2 new Pokemon, Mr. Rhyme and Runerigus. See, I thought that Mr. Rhyme was going to be a Galarian Mr. Mime. But, as we've seen, Galarian Mr. Mime is a Pokemon that evolves into Mr. Rhyme. So that's not what I was expecting. But Galarian Mr. Mime, Ice Psychic, which is a very, very interesting type. I think it's the first Ice Psychic type we've had. I can't remember if it is, but it might be. I'm going to look at this because, like, Ice Psychic, Mr. Mime. Is it the first that we've had? The first Ice Psychic? It is? Wow. Interesting. Well, as you know, I am a great Ice Pokemon fan. Ice is my favorite type. So getting new Ice-type Pokemon is very, very, very... I'm very, very into that. I really like his tap dancing. If you've seen Mr. Rhyme's animations, his tap dancing is so good. I'm so proud of him. Or her also, I suppose. It could also be a woman. I found a Galarian Mr. Mime and evolved it into a Mr. Rhyme in my Nuzlocke. I never used it. I never used her, but I named her Funny Woman. I know, the best name ever, but, I never really got to use her all that much. But it was fun. It was interesting. I'm very glad to see more Ice types. And Runerigus, I suspected was just a new Pokemon on its own. But it evolves from Galarian Yamask. So it's like the new version of Cofagrigus, but it's not Galarian Cofagrigus, it's just a totally new Pokemon, which is something that I'm very down with. I like it a lot. I'm using one on my team currently, on my personal team, and I gotta say it's really good. Like it's really fun. I really like its evolution. So if you don't know how to evolve Runerigus, or however you do it, Runerigus, you have to take 49 damage in one hit, and then go to an area in the wild area and walk underneath like a stone thing to evolve it. I really, really like new and interesting evolution methods, because that's something that we're getting a lot in Gen 8, and I'm very, very into this. I very much like it, and it's very refreshing to see such new things like that. Anyway, moving on. Milcery and Alcremie. We already talked about Alcremie, so I'm not going to talk about Alcremie again. But I am using an Alcremie on my team. Her name is Suede. She's very good. I'm very much enjoying using Alcremie on my team. I didn't think I would because I thought it was just like I was just another fairy type. It's a good fairy type. It's nice. And Milkarie's cool. I really like how you evolve Milkarie into Alcremie. It's like you can have the different toppings, the different like ways of spinning to evolve it. You're like mixing the cream into frosting. It's very fun. It's very interesting. Like I said, new and interesting evolution methods. I am very down to do that. Phalanx. So Phalanx is recently turning into my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon. If you haven't been following me on Twitter, I recently made a Twitter called Phalanx Marching, where I sync up songs to Phalanx's idle animation, where it's marching. It's very, very fun. I've already amassed almost 3,000 followers on that Twitter page. It's very, very fun. People are very much enjoying it, and I'm having a great time doing it. So yeah, but Phalanx, as soon as I saw Phalanx, I knew that it was just going to be one of my favorite Pokemon. And the thing that I really like about Phalanx is that I haven't seen anybody not liking it. Like, Phalanx seems like the kind of Pokemon that, like, I would expect some people to dislike just because of its design. Like, it's very odd. It's like, it's 6 Pokemon in one, but like, I haven't seen anyone hating on it, and it's making me so happy because I just love Phalanx, and fighting. It's, even though it's just a pure fighting, which I think it should be fighting bug, even though it's not really a bug. I think that a fighting bug would be very fun. We only have, I think, what's its name? The Ultra Beast. I don't remember its name. Buzzwole. We have Buzzwole, but that's an Ultra Beast, and I think having a fighting bug would be fun, unless we already have a fighting bug. I don't remember. Is it the first fighting bug? We have too many pure fighting types, I think. I think we need more dual type fighting types. Yeah, we don't have any other fighting bugs other than Buzzwole, I think. Let me see. He's not even on here. Is he fighting bug? Is he fighting bug? Oh, right, because it's not. I wasn't looking in the right decks. I was looking in the Galarian decks, but we certainly don't have that. Buzzwole is bug fighting. Oh, so is a Pheromosa. But then again, they're Ultra Beasts, and we need more. Heracross. How could I be so blind to Heracross? I was looking through and I'm like, oh, there's no other bug fighting. Literally just it's Heracross. But I think it still should be bug type. Maybe you could disagree with that. Maybe you could find another type for it to be. Maybe steel. Bug steel would be fun. Even now, our fighting steel. Fighting steel would be fun. I don't know if we have any other fighting steels, but I'm rambling too much about Phalanx. I love Phalanx a lot. And you'll probably hear a lot more about it from me in the future. I'm using a Phalanx on my team currently, and it is they're so good. I love them a lot. I love their signature move, No Retreat. It's very fun. If you don't know, No Retreat is it boosts all your stats, but you can't switch out. And like, that is not very much of a price to pay to get a boost in all of your stats. Like, that's very good. Especially in single player. I don't know how great it's going to be in competitive or, just battling other people. But in single player, it's insanely good and it's very fun. Anyway, next up is Pincurchin. Pincurchin is, like I said, should be electric water in my opinion. But, it makes sense because it's a sea urchin. But it makes sense that it's just electric. And I do very much enjoy Pincurchin's design. Not really much else to say. It's kind of the Pyukumuku of this gen, but there's nothing wrong with that. I love Pyukumuku, and I love Pincurchin. Snom and Frostmoth. Snom is becoming a little bit of a meme, a little bit of a fan favorite because of how adorable it is. And I'm using a Frostmoth on my team currently, and it's very fun. Ice Bug is something that I've been waiting for so long. I'm so happy that we're getting an Ice Bug type. Or that we have an Ice Bug type. I love Ice type. You know that I like Ice type. You all know that I love Ice type. I'm so glad that we're finally getting a Bug Ice. We need more Ice type Pokemon. Seriously, we need more dual type ice types. There's not we need just more ice types in general. There's not enough ice types, and the fact that we now have Snom and Frostmoth and Ice-Q, who we will talk about in a moment, to fill that role is very, very exciting to me. Ice-Q is interesting. It's cute. I like that it's just a penguin with a big old ice head, and it freezes its head to keep its head cool. It's very cute. I like it a lot. I don't really have anything else to say. It's sort of an ice type Mimikyu that gets its. So imagine it's an ice type Mimikyu that gets its disguise back when it hails, which is interesting. It might be really good. It kind of sounds like it might be really good. Stonjourner is a very cool Pokemon. I like Stonjourner. I like its design. I like how it was kind of based on, because they kind of took like a town, I forget what the town is, but it's the first gym town. And they kind of just made it in like the whole aesthetic of that town into a Pokemon. They kind of took like the aesthetic of Galar, like the Stonehenge, that kind of stuff, and made it into a Pokemon. And it's very cute. Its design is very fun. I was gonna use one on my team, but I didn't, unfortunately, because I didn't really want to use a rock type when I was already using Runerigus, and I didn't want to give up Runerigus for Stonjourner, so it's okay. Maybe I'll use it again at some point. Maybe I'll try it out, but I very much like Stonjourner. Morpeko. Also, Stonjourner seems to be really good in doubles, and that's it, because of its ability. It literally just increases the power of allies' Pokemon attacks by 30% because it's called Power Spot, and it's kind of a reference to Dynamaxing, which is also very fun. It's sort of a Dynamaxing reference, and I like it a lot. I like the theme they're going with it. I like Stonjourner. Anyway, Morpeko. We already talked about Morpeko. It's Marnie's signature Pokemon. It wasn't really too much of a threat. Its Hunger Switch is interesting because I didn't expect its Hunger Switch to be after every turn. I don't know if we had that information beforehand, but I wasn't aware of it until I actually played the game. I always thought it would be like something different, something a little bit more like random, or something a little bit more like if something happens to it, then it changes form. But it's interesting that it's every single turn it changes back, because it just changes its signature move from electric to dark type. And by the way, electric dark is a very fun typing. It seems like this gen is giving a lot of unique type combinations, and I'm very happy about that. Qfant and Copperaja. We've been waiting for an elephant Pokemon for quite a long time after Phanpy. And I mean, what a good addition. I very much enjoy Qfant and Copperaja. They're steel types. Gigantamax form is cool. I haven't had a chance to use one yet, or even catch one, I think. But it's cool. I like it. Duraludon, or Duraludon, how I've been saying it wrong ever since I started saying this Pokemon's name. I think we already talked about Duraludon, so it's okay. We'll talk. Well, we don't really have much to say. Gigantamax form is cool, but Steel Dragon is a very good type, I must say. Speaking of dragons, we have Dreepy and Dragapult and Drecloak, of course, the pseudo-legendaries of the region. And I'm very happy that the pseudo-legendaries that we have for this region are ghost types. Dreepy is a very fun, very, very fun designed Pokemon. I like it a lot. It's really cool. I really like how Dragapult's got like little Dreepies in its guns. It's so cute. It's adorable. It's so cute. I love this Pokemon so much. It's one of my new favorites, I think. And I'm glad that I'm really glad that this is the pseudo legendary that we got. Before we talk about the legendaries, we will talk about the fossil Pokemon. I don't really have much to say about the fossil Pokemon. I think that they're fun. I think their designs are very fun. I'm into the fact that we have four of them. I think that's very interesting. Something we've never seen before. How you can like make different combinations of them. And again, I very much like their types. Water dragon, water ice is lackluster, but the two other ones, electric dragon and electric ice. What fun types. I very much like that a lot. It's very, very fun. And like I said, new type combinations, especially with ice, is something I'm always down for. Next is Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus. So I haven't actually played through the story or the post game story with Zacian and Zamazenta where you catch them. I know there's like a big thing. There's like a big post game something with Zacian and Zamazenta at the end. So I think I will save them for when I talk about the post game, which will probably be in the third episode of this little series. So 4 weeks from now, a month from now, around Christmas time, will be where you hear me talk about Zacian, Zamazenta, and Eternatus. I figured I'll wait to talk about the gameplay and the story, talking about Eternatus, because Eternatus is totally into the story and isn't really a standalone Pokemon very much on its own. So I will talk about Eternatus, Zacian, and Zamazenta next time. And last, very quickly before we leave, also I'm sad to say, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do a move tutor this week. I hope you don't mind. Next time maybe we'll do 2 to make up for it. But I'm actually kind of running low on time, literally, for the podcast. Like I think that I have a limit of a certain amount of time per episode, and I'm about there. And I don't want to go over talking about move tutor, so we're gonna skip it for today. And at the end, for the last but not least, we're gonna talk about a few more Pokemon: Galarian Ponyta and Galarian Rapidash. Psychic Fairy again. Which is cool. I like it. Galarian Rapidash is very nice. I didn't really have a chance to look at it because of the fact that I have Sword, but it's nice. I like it. We already talked a little bit about Galarian Ponyta, so I won't really go into much. Galarian Darumaka and Darmanitan is a very welcome change. Again, ice types. I always talk about the ice types. Darmanitan, is a cool Pokemon. I like its ice fire typing with its Zen mode, its new Zen mode, with its hidden ability Zen mode. Very fun. I'm excited to see how it can be used competitively. Because it seems very good. And its design is super cute, super good. I very much like its design. One of my favorites, I think. At least Zen mode Darmanitan. I'm not really sure how I feel about normal Galarian Darmanitan's big old lips and hair, but Zen mode Darmanitan is very nice, very cute Pokemon, I must say. And I'm glad that we're getting some Gen 5 love with the new Galarian forms. Speaking of the Galarian forms, the last Pokemon we're going to talk about today is Galarian Stunfisk. And Galarian Stunfisk is exciting because I like Stunfisk. It's ground steel. That's such a good typing. Normally it's ground electric, but like ground steel is such a fun typing. I like its design. I like how they changed it into like a bear trap where its spots turn into footprints. Like that's priceless. That's really good. And it even has the little Pokeball. The Pokeball to lure people in to trap them with its bear trap. Like that's such a fun design. I'm like, cause Stunfisk is always like, the flounder Pokemon. It people step on it and they get shocked. Like flounders. Fish wander near them when they're hiding in the sand because they're so flat, and they catch their prey. But for Stunfisk, they changed that into a literal bear trap. And I'm very, very much liking that. Anyway, that is going to do it for me. What do I think about all the new Pokemon? I think that the new Pokemon are very good. I think that I'm more excited about these new Pokemon and new forms, than I was for Sun and Moon. I think these Pokemon designs are very, very solid. I think that they are just fantastic. I'm very, very happy with the designs, very, very happy with the new types, the new ice types we got, the new forms, the new evolution methods, everything. Everything is so good with these new Pokemon. And I think my final rating for the new Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield is a 8 out of 10. There certainly could have been a little bit more. Certainly could have been a little bit more unique and improved typings, in my opinion. Some of the designs are a little bit lackluster. Some of them are a little unnecessary, in my opinion, like Galarian Meowth, but I can see why they did it. But yeah, I mean, 8 out of 10 is my final answer. They are very good. Very, very happy with these new assortment of Pokemon. I was very excited to see them when I first started playing, and I hope that you are as excited as I am. Anyway, sorry for the a little bit of a rushed ending here, but I do really need to get going. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Remember that this is the first part of a 3-part series that's going to be happening over the next 4 weeks. The next 3 episodes where I do a total review of Pokemon Sword and Shield. And this was simply the new Pokemon section, new Pokemon episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you so much. And remember to catch me on Twitter at twitter.com/Lillieceon. You can catch me streaming at twitch.tv/Lillieceon, and I upload my edited VODs to YouTube. My channel is Lillieceon. And thank you so much for your support so far. Hope you had a great time. I certainly had a fun time. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.